Here's the truth. The hardest person that you will ever lead is not your team, not your family, it's not your church. It's you. I'm Jason. I'm the leadership guy, and I'm here to help you become a better leader. In this video, I'll share with you 3 things that you absolutely must do to control your reactions so that your reactions don't control you. Recently, I was driving on the highway, passing some slow moving traffic. And as I'm coming alongside the slow moving traffic, I suddenly hear beep beep. I look up in the rearview mirror and there's a car pretty close behind me. And I wonder, what is this about? So I keep going. So I glance down, check my speed. I'm pretty close to the speed limit. Nowhere for me to go. I just need to continue going past this vehicle. So I continue trying to get past this vehicle, and then a couple of seconds later, I hear beep beep again. So I'm wondering what is going on here. And then I said, look, maybe there's something that I don't know about here. So let me just and as I make that decision, I glance up in the rearview mirror. I feel that urge. You know, the one that you get just to slow down, right? Because that car behind me is what are you doing? There's nowhere for you to go. There's nowhere for me to go. Just let me get past the car, please. So I get past the vehicle, and as I'm safely past, I signal, change my lanes. I get out till I come out from that lane and go into the next lane. And this guy just zips by, whoosh. So, okay, so clearly your house is on fire. You don't have a phone, so you need to rush down through the fire station to let them know your house is on fire, right? That's clearly what's happening. So that driver passes me and then cuts across in front of me into the lane on the next side of me. I'm looking at, what are you doing? Why are you going in such a hurry? And we continue up the highway. Then I noticed that car that zips back out of the lane it went in. What's going on here? And then the next, I'm going to make an exit. Right? And then lo and behold, that car ahead of me, that car makes the exit onto the very same exit that I'm going to. I said, oh, this is interesting. So that car is racing, going up the road. I'm driving a normal pace, coming up behind. And then I smile because that car that was so hurried, beep, 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 to get past me, now has to wait because there's slower moving traffic ahead. And this is a 1-lane off ramp. 1 lane. Nowhere to go. So I come up literally right behind the car, and I feel this urge to blow my horn, beep, beep. And I said, no, don't do that. Leave it alone. So I just sit there. And then we merge into traffic because we are actually going to merge onto a separate highway. And so that car ahead of me merges. And as soon as that car merges, goes zoom, zip all the way around and heads up. You're like, wow, what's going on? And they changing lanes and say, you go brave. I take my time, I come up the road, and then lo and behold, what happens? We all slow down when they're going around the roundabout. And the car is just a couple cars inside of me, and then they turn off and he goes again. And there's the driver trying to get past this traffic, but can't get past it because slow moving traffic there and slow moving traffic in front, nowhere to go, has to slow down, has to wait. And we go, and then we get to the lights. And where are we? Yeah, I'm here, that car, beep beep, it is right in front of me. And I sit there and I feel this urge. Blow the horn. No, blow the horn. Blow the horn. It's like, I resist the urge. Don't blow the horn. And then the light changes. We go across, goes through intersection. Wonder of wonders. That car is going the same way that I'm going. I said, really? But there's nowhere to go because this is slow moving traffic. So it goes up. And then the first turn of that car turns. And I go there, and in my mind I said, bye-bye. And I wondered, what was your rush? What was your hurry? What was your haste? So I don't know the situation, but clearly, yeah, that person is just trying to go faster than they can reasonably go. And I'm going up the road and I encounter another interesting one where somebody does some other craziness in front of me, and I wonder, what are you doing? What are you doing? So I take my time and I go past, and then lo and behold, there comes yet another one. What are you doing? And then after that one, thankfully, that craziness all goes away. But I walk away from that with a very serious reminder. Any number of times on that journey, the first encounter, the second encounter, the third, any one of them could have caused me to trip off. But I had to remain in control. And as leaders, we need to do exactly that. Regardless of what we are confronted with, regardless of what faces us, regardless we have people come bearing down upon us, beep, 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 beep. Yeah, we need to slow it down and stay in control. So let me share with you 3 things that you absolutely have to do as a leader to retain control so that your reactions don't control you. So here's the first one. Recognize, firstly, that you do need to control your reactions. Yeah, control your reactions. Not every urge requires action. Not every urge. You have any idea what would happen if you said everything you thought you should say? Do you have any idea what would happen if you did everything that you thought about doing? Yeah, that's a really bad idea. Right? So recognize that you need to control your reactions. Yes, some people say, but there's an interesting expression we have. The blood close to my skin. That means that those people get angry. They react very quickly. Yeah, we need to slow that down. Slow it down. Recognize that you need to control your reactions. You are a thinking, rational human being. Apart from emotions, you have logic. You recognize that you are in control. Right? Not because somebody says something, you just do. You know, folks, I have seen people, especially on the road, do some things, and I said to myself, that is how people get killed. Because they did not control their reaction. I've been in situations where people have completely underestimated me and done some things that really and truly could have put them in some real problems. But I needed to make sure to not do that same thing. I retained control. It's not about being a robot and unfeeling. Not at all. It's about recognizing that you need to retain control of yourself. Do not allow people to push your buttons and manipulate you and goad you into doing things. No. You need to retain control. Lead. Certainly lead from here. Lead from the heart. But be clear. A lot of times you need to lead from here. You need to be thinking what it is that you're doing. So lead from there. So firstly, recognize that you need to retain control. Here's the second one. This is a real doozy. Choose your battles. Not every battle you need to fight. And sometimes winning is simply letting go. That guy who came behind me, beep, 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 and ended up going nowhere, yeah. I could have chosen my battle. I could have said, well, that's what you want to do? Okay, let me fight this battle. I could have said, well, you hurry, I'll slow you down. And then any number of things could have happened as a result of that. I remember many years ago as a young driver in the car with my supervisor, and this guy did this piece of total nonsense in front of me. And I said, you have got to be kidding. So I turned the car and I blocked him. I said, you can't be serious. I'm saying this out loud. You can't be serious. My supervisor very calmly says, Jason, move the car. And I said to him, but the man, he wrong. How we could do that? The supervisor simply said, Jason, move the car. So I listened to him. I reversed the car, moved it, let that driver go. Then I asked my supervisor, what's that about? One of the best pieces of advice ever. You don't know what's that person's state of mind. Leave them alone. Exactly. Choose your battles. People may come at you. Rah, 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 rah. You have no need to engage that. No need. No need to show them who's boss. No need to demonstrate I am large and in charge. No need for that at all. Sometimes people will belittle you and this and that, and you choose your battles. Several years ago, I was at a youth camp and one of the guys came in late. And so these are all young men, so we deal with it in the way that young men. I said to him, no, you can't be serious, man. Give me 20 push-ups. And he looked at me and he said, I'm not doing that. And I watched him. I said, you're not doing the push-ups. He flat refused to do the push-ups. I said, but you're late. You bell rang. You're now coming. I said, but I was sleeping. I didn't hear the bell. All kind of excuses. Reasonable excuses, but he was late. And I chose not to fight that battle. I chose. I let it go. It is either later in the day, I think it was later in the day itself, he came back to me and he recognized the error of his way. He apologized. And he said he was willing to do push-ups because he recognized that he was in the wrong. And I thanked him and I said, what happened earlier happened in the public with other people around. We need to sort this out in the public with other people around. And he said, no problem. So I gathered the same guys who were there. I called the young man. I said, you can go ahead now. He came, he apologized publicly, and he did the push-ups. And all of that was only possible because I chose not to fight that battle. Choose your battles and choose them wisely. You don't need to fight every battle. As leader, you know where you're going. As leader, you know what the objective is. As leader, you know where you want to take your people. You know what the goals are. Choose the battles that you need to fight to get you there. The rest, let them go. Here's your third one. Protect your peace. Yeah. See, the peace of mind that you have, that's yours. Don't allow anybody to take that from you. Everything can be falling around you, but you have peace of mind, you protect that. People are only too willing to involve you in their madness. Only too willing. Protect your peace of mind. Don't let them draw you into it. Don't let them draw you into conflict. Don't let them draw you into confusion. Don't let them draw you into that. When you respond with constraint, you get to preserve your peace of mind. So let me remind you the three things that you absolutely need to do, right? The first one, control your reactions. It's the second one, choose your battles. It's the third one, protect your peace. If you practice these three, you will do well. And you will control your reactions instead of having your reactions control you. Check out this video for more help in becoming a better leader. See you next time.